Have you ever wished you could just talk to your documents? You know, ask them a question and get a straight answer without having to read through everything. Well, today we're going to dive into a tool that does exactly that. And honestly, it could completely change how you deal with information.
But first, let's just set the stage here, because I think we all face this problem. We are absolutely bombarded with information, right? Reports, articles, meeting notes, manuals. It just never ever stops. It's a total flood.
I mean, seriously, does your work life ever feel like this? Like you're just trying to keep your head above water, but the paperwork and the PDFs and all the data just keeps piling up around you.
And it's all those little things that add up, isn't it? You've got like a dozen browser tabs open, a whole folder of PDFs you swore you were going to read. And then there's that one critical fact you saw somewhere, but for the life of you, you can't find it. And summarizing all of that? Forget it. That feels like a full-time job all on its own.
Okay, but what if you could get a partner for all this? An assistant that's designed specifically to help you make sense of your universe of information? Well, let me introduce you to NotebookLM.
So this is the most important part to get. NotebookLM is your own personal AI assistant, but its brain, its knowledge, is grounded only in the documents and sources that you give it. This is not about searching the entire internet. It's about becoming an expert in your world of information.
And here is the real game changer. It's what's called a closed context AI. That's a fancy way of saying its answers are based only on the stuff you uploaded. That means it can't just make things up or pull in random facts from the web. And, super important, your information stays private. It's all contained right there in your notebook. Okay, so what can this thing actually do? Let's break it down into what I like to call its 3 core superpowers. First, it can summarize. You can feed it a huge 50-page report and bam, it gives you the main points in seconds. Second, you can ask it questions and it will give you precise answers based only on your documents. And third, it helps you create brand new things. It can turn all your messy notes and sources into clean outlines, FAQs, or even first drafts of reports.
Now, that all sounds great, in theory. But how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's walk through a few practical examples where this becomes incredibly powerful.
Okay, so picture an HR manager. One of their biggest challenges is getting new hires trained and ready to go fast, without completely overwhelming them. So imagine this. You just upload all those dense company policy documents, all the SOPs, and then you just ask it a simple question, like create a 5-step onboarding checklist for a new person in sales. And just like that, it pulls from all those documents and gives you a perfect, easy-to-follow guide.
All right, let's switch gears. Think about a market researcher. Their entire job is to sift through mountains of data and reports and competitor info to find those little nuggets of insight.
I mean, look at this transformation. You put in a massive industry report, you get out a 1-page summary of the key trends, you feed it a bunch of PDFs on your competitors, it spits out a clear bulleted list of their advantages. You can even give it raw survey data and ask it to draft some marketing ideas. It literally turns raw data into actionable direction.
Or how about someone in tech support? And their job is all about finding super accurate, technical answers while they're under pressure, trying to solve a customer's problem as fast as possible.
So instead of frantically searching through hundreds of pages of technical manuals, they can just upload everything one time. Then, when a customer calls with some really tricky issue, the support pro can just type that question right into NotebookLM and instantly get a step-by-step guide to fix it.
And finally, let's look at a project manager. These folks live in a world of meeting notes, project plans, and just endless email threads. Their whole job is to create clarity out of all that chaos.
The value here is just incredible. It's about turning all that communication clutter into clear, forward progress. You feed it the minutes from your last meeting, it pulls out a list of action items and who's supposed to do them. Give it a week's worth of emails and plans, and it can draft that weekly update for your stakeholders.
And you're probably wondering, okay, what can I actually use with this? Well, the good news is it supports pretty much all the file types you're already using every single day. We're talking PDFs, Google Docs, Word documents, even PowerPoint presentations, and links to websites.
So when you kind of step back and look at all these different examples, you start to see a bigger picture emerge. This is not just some neat little productivity hack. It's really a fundamental shift in how we can work.
It's a shift from information chaos to information control. And the goal here isn't just about saving a few hours.
The real win is gaining a much deeper, more intuitive grasp of the knowledge that actually matters to you and your job.
I think this quote just nails it. It really gets to the heart of what's happening. You're no longer just this passive reader skimming through things. You actually become an active participant in a conversation with your information.
And so, that leaves us with one final and I think really important question to think about. When all that tedious work of finding and structuring information is just handled for you, what new ideas, what new strategies, what amazing breakthroughs will you finally be free to create?